What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be continuing the Urban Legends Countries Edition. This is going to be part 2. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I don't I don't think I'm going to do every single country in the world because that would take absolutely forever, and I do not plan on doing that. So depending on if the videos do well, I might do part 3, part 4, part 5, maybe up to part 5, but it all depends. So, anyways, we're going to pick up where we left off, and we're going to be starting with Canada today. So, part 2, here we go. Canada, the Wendigo. A legend from indigenous Algonquin folklore, the Wendigo is a terrifying creature associated with cannibalism, winter, and madness. It is said to be a once human being who resorted to eating human flesh and was cursed to become a monstrous skeletal figure with glowing eyes and an insatiable hunger. The Wendigo stalks the forests of North America, preying on travelers or those who become lost in the snow. It can mimic human voices to lure victims deeper into the wilderness, where they are never seen again. Some believe that simply hearing its name can summon it. Stories of the Wendigo were used to warn people against greed, starvation, and turning on one another in harsh winters. Even today, sightings of the Wendigo persist in parts of Canada and the northern United States. Spain. La Santa Campana, the procession of the dead. In the rural regions of Spain, particularly in Galicia, people fear La Santa Campana, a ghostly procession of lost souls that roam the countryside at night. The legend says that these restless spirits, dressed in white robes and carrying candles, march in silence, led by a living person who is cursed to walk with them, until they find another unsuspecting victim to take their place. Those who are seen by the procession and do not quickly flee are said to die soon after. Some say the spirits knock on doors, warning of impending death for those inside. To avoid the curse, people cross their arms, form a circle, or lie face down on the ground until the procession passes. Even today, some villagers refuse to go outside after dark for fear of encountering La Santa Campana. Romania, the Hoia Baciu Forest, the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania. Located in Transylvania, Hoia Baciu Forest is infamous for its paranormal activity and mysterious disappearances. It is often called the most haunted forest in the world. According to legend, a shepherd once entered the forest with his flock of 200 sheep, and none of them were ever seen again. Others speak of people who have entered the woods and reappeared days later with no memory of what had happened. Visitors report ghostly apparitions, disembodied whispers, and strange lights floating between the trees. In the heart of the forest, there is a perfectly circular clearing with no plants that grow there, believed to be a portal to another dimension. Scientists have studied the area, but can't explain why electromagnetic disturbances and radiation spikes occur there. Norway, the Draugr, the Viking undead. In ancient Norse mythology, Draugr are terrifying undead warriors who rise from their graves to haunt the living. Unlike typical ghosts, they are corporeal beings, essentially Viking zombies with supernatural strength. The Draugr can shapeshift, walk through walls, and even swim in the sea, attacking ships. They jealously guard their treasure and strangle anyone who comes too close. The only way to stop them is by cutting off their heads and burning their bodies. Even today, some Norwegians avoid ancient burial mounds, fearing that disturbing them might awake the Draugr. Hungary, the Blood Countess, Elizabeth Bathory. One of the most infamous figures in Hungarian history, Countess Elizabeth Bathory, 1560 to 1614, was accused of torturing and killing hundreds of young girls. According to legend, she bathed in their blood, believing it would keep her youthful forever. Although historians debate how much of the story is true, many believe her castle in Chisinau, modern-day Slovakia, is haunted by the spirits of her victims. Visitors have reported hearing screams, whispers, and shadowy figures lurking in the ruins. Bathory was eventually imprisoned in her castle, where she died alone. However, her legend inspired many vampire myths and even influenced Dracula. Sweden, My Legend, the Ghost Children. Swedish folklore tells the tale of million ghostly children who wander the countryside at night, crying for help. These spirits are said to be the souls of unwanted children murdered by their own mothers. In some versions of the legend, the mothers drowned or buried them to escape shame or poverty, but the children's spirits never found peace. People would encounter a middling often hear soft sobbing or whispers in the dark. If you ignore them, they scream suddenly, driving people insane or forcing them to carry the spirit until they reach a proper burial site. Even today, some Swedes believe that lonely roads and forests at night are haunted by these restless souls. Ireland, the Banshee, harbinger of death. One of Ireland's most famous supernatural beings is the Banshee, a ghostly woman whose piercing wail is an omen of death. The Banshee appears as a pale woman with long hair, sometimes dressed in white or gray. She is often seen combing her hair, and anyone who takes her comb is doomed to die. Some versions say she screams outside the home of someone who is about to die, while others claim she simply appears in the distance, weeping softly. Despite being feared, the Banshee does not kill anyone. She merely warns of an impending death, usually within old Irish families. Finland, the Church Grim, the spirit guardian. In Finnish folklore, churches are often protected by a ghostly guardian spirit known as the Church Grim. According to legend, when a new church was built, a black dog, ram, or horse was buried alive beneath the foundation to create a guardian spirit. This spirit, now trapped between the living and the dead, protects the church from demons, grave robbers, and witches. However, some say that on stormy nights, the church grim wanders the graveyard, its glowing red eyes watching trespassers. Those who disrespect the church or disturb the dead might be chased by the grim, never to be seen again. Malaysia, the Orang Minyak, also known as the Oily Man. One of Malaysia's most feared urban legends, the Orang Minyak, which means oily man, is a supernatural creature covered in black, greasy oil, making him impossible to catch. According to legend, he is a man who made a deal with dark forces either for revenge or power. In return, he was given supernatural abilities but cursed to forever wander the night, attacking villagers. The Orang Minyak is said to be able to climb walls, vanish into shadows, and even hypnotize victims. Some believe he is a real person practicing black magic, while others believe he is a ghost. Even today, in some rural parts of Malaysia, people lock their doors at night, fearing the oily man. Chile, El Culebron, the giant serpent. In Chilean folklore, El Culebron is a gigantic, hairy serpent with glowing eyes that guards hidden treasures. It is said to live in remote caves and rivers, attacking anyone who comes near. Some believe that miners and treasure hunters have tried to tame the Culebron by feeding it milk and blood, hoping it will reveal hidden gold. However, the legend warns that no one who makes a deal with the serpent ever escapes alive. The beast eventually demands their soul in return. Even today, in the countryside of Chile, some people refuse to explore certain caves, fearing that El Culebron is waiting in the darkness. New Zealand, the Taniwha, the water monster. In Maori mythology, Taniwha are powerful water creatures that live in rivers, lakes, and oceans. They are often seen as guardians, but can also be seen as dangerous. According to legend, Taniwha can change shape, appearing as giant lizards, sharks, or dragons. Some protect certain families or lands, while others lure travelers to their doom. Many believe that strange whirlpools or sudden waves are a sign of angry Taniwha. Even today, some Maori communities consult elders before building bridges or disturbing sacred waters, ensuring they do not anger these ancient beings. Scotland, the Kelpie, the water demon. In Scottish folklore, the Kelpie is a malevolent water spirit that lurks in lakes and rivers, appearing as beautiful black horse. It waits by the water, inciting people to climb onto its back. But the moment they do, the Kelpie's skin turns sticky, trapping its victims. Then it dives into the water, drowning and devouring them. Some versions of the legend claim that the Kelpie can also take human form, appearing as an incredibly attractive man to lure victims. Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness is home to most famous lake monster Nessie, but locals also whisper about the lurking danger of Kelpie in Scotland's dark waters. Germany, the Doppelganger, the evil twin. In German folklore, a doppelganger is a ghostly duplicate of a living person, an exact double who brings misfortune and death. Seeing your own doppelganger is an omen of impending doom, while encountering someone else's may indicate they are about to die. Some believe that these entities are shadow beings or demonic spirits that attempt to replace the real person, causing confusion and destruction. Even historical figures such as Abraham Lincoln reportedly saw their own doppelganger before their deaths, adding to the eerie legend. Bhutan, the sinister demon of the burning lake. Mibar Sho. In the peaceful kingdom of Bhutan, A sacred lake called Mabar Sho, Burning Lake, is said to be haunted by a vengeful spirit. According to legend, the lake was once used by Buddhist saint Pima Lingpa to find hidden treasure left by a great teacher. However, some say that an ancient demon was angered by his actions. Since then, strange lights and whispers and shadows have been seen over the water at night. Villagers believe that those who approach with greed in their hearts may be dragged into the depths, never to return. Even today, locals warn visitors to show respect at the lake, or risk facing the wrath of the spirits. Malta, the ghost of the Blue Lady. One of Malta's most famous ghost stories is the Blue Lady, a spirit said to haunt the Verdala Palace, an ancient fortress turned residence. According to legend, the Blue Lady was a noble woman who refused an arranged marriage. To escape her fate, she tried to flee but fell to her death from a high window. Since then, her ghost has been seen roaming the palace, dressed in blue and glowing faintly. People have reported objects moving on their own in mysterious cold spots and eerie whispers in the halls. Even to this day, visitors claim to have seen a flickering blue figure in the windows at night. Madagascar, the ghostly fire of Anjanaharibe. In Madagascar, an eerie phenomenon haunts the village of Anjanaharibe, mysterious floating lights that appear in the dark. Locals believe these lights are spirits of the dead, wandering the land in search of peace. Some say they are the lost souls of warriors who died in battle, while others claim they are angry spirits seeking revenge. The lights move strangely, appearing and disappearing without warning. Those who try to follow them often become lost in the wilderness, never to be seen again. Because of this, villagers avoid traveling at night, fearing that the fire spirits will lead them astray. Montenegro, the cursed island of Mamula. Off the coast of Montenegro lies Mamula Island, a place with a dark and haunted past. Originally a fortress, the island became a prison during World War II, where people were brutally tortured and executed. Survivors claim that horrific experiments were conducted on prisoners, and many died in agony. Since then, Mamula has been abandoned and locals refuse to set foot on it. Those who have dared to visit report hearing screams, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling a suffocating presence. Some believe the spirits of tortured souls will never leave the island, forever trapped in their suffering. Tonga, the Tokelau Ghost Canoe. On the remote islands of Tonga, fishermen tell stories of the Tokelau Ghost Canoe, a phantom vessel that sails the seas with no crew. Legend says that the canoe belongs to spirits of lost warriors, eternally searching for their homeland. The canoe appears suddenly in the dead of night, glowing eerily in the moonlight. Those who see are said to experience strange dreams, sudden sickness, or even death. Fishermen avoid certain waters at night, fearing that if they cross paths with the ghost canoe, they will be taken by the spirits and never return. Belize, the Tata Duende, the jungle demon. In the dense jungles of Belize, people fear the Tata Duende, a mischievous yet terrifying spirit with backward feet and no thumbs. He is said to protect the forest and punish those who harm nature. If you cut down trees without permission or disrespect the jungle, Tata Duende appears from the shadows, his glowing eyes watching. He can whistle to hypnotize people and lead them to deep in the forest, where they are never seen again. Some say the only way to escape him is to hide your thumbs, because if he sees them, he will cut them off. Even today, some Belizeans refuse to venture too deep into the jungle at night, fearing they might encounter the Tata Duende. Luxembourg, the Melusina, the cursed water nymph. In Luxembourg, the legend of Melusina tells a beautiful water spirit who married a mortal man, promising to stay with him as long as he never saw her on Saturdays. For years, they were happy, but curiosity got the better of him. One day, he peeked the door and saw Melusina transforming into a half-fish, half-serpent in the bath. Realizing he had broken his promise, she let out a heartbreaking scream and vanished into the river, never to return. To this day, people say that her spirit still haunts the water, appearing as a shadow in the waves or a whisper in the wind. Some claim that when the river rises suddenly, it is Melusina's sorrow tears filling the water. Fiji, the Dakuwaka, the shark god. In Fijian legend, Dakuwaka is a powerful shark god who once ruled the seas. He was feared for attacking fishermen and devouring entire boats, but after losing a battle with another god, he promised to protect those who respected the ocean. Fishermen today still offer small prayers to the Dakuwaka before sailing believing that his spirit guards them from storms and dangerous waters. However, those who disrespect the ocean or hunt too greedily risk invoking his wrath, and some believe shipwrecks and sudden shark attacks are his revenge. Andorra, the legend of Bruxis de Andorra, the witches of Andorra. Nestled in the Pyrenees Mountains, Andorra has a dark history of witchcraft trials. According to legend, witches once lived in secret villages in the mountains, practicing forbidden magic. The most feared among them were said to control the weather, summon storms, and cast deadly curses. Some stories claim that travelers who ventured too far into the mountains at night would be captured by witches, never to be seen again. Even today, some older villages refuse to speak of the Bruixes de Andorra, believing that their spirits still roam the land, watching and waiting for those who dare to uncover their secrets. Liechtenstein, the curse of Burg Gutenberg. Burg Gutenberg, one of Liechtenstein's most famous castles, is said to be cursed by a ghostly woman. According to legend, a noble woman who lived there centuries ago was accused of witchcraft and thrown into the dungeon. Before she died, she was placed a terrible curse on the castle, warning that anyone who betrayed her loved ones would suffer her fate. Since then, visitors and caretakers have reported strange noises, whispers in the dark, and doors slamming on their own. Some say her shadowy figure can still be seen standing on the castle walls on stormy nights. Brunei, the haunted Istana Nurul Iman. The Istana Nurul Iman, the Grand Palace of Brunei's royal family, is not just the largest residential palace in the world, it also is believed to be the most haunted. According to local workers and guards, strange whispers echo through the empty halls. Shadowy figures roam the corridors, and unseen hands sometimes pull at people's clothing. Some claim that these spirits are ancient guardians of the land, while others believe they are cursed souls of those who wronged the royal family. Despite its beauty, few dare to be alone in certain parts of the palace at night. San Marino, the ghostly nun of Monte Titano. San Marino, one of the world's smallest countries, is home to an eerie legend about a ghostly nun who wanders Monte Tino. According to the story, during medieval times, a nun fell in love with a knight, a forbidden romance. When the church discovered their affair, she was sentenced to death. Before dying, she swore her soul would never rest until she found her lover again. Since then, travelers hiking on Monte Titano have claimed to see her shadowy figure in a nun's habit, her face hidden in the darkness. Some say, if you hear soft weeping in the wind, it is her eternal sorrow, echoing through the mountains. Comoros, the Djinn of Sunken City. Off the coast of Comoros Islands, Christians speak of the sunken city beneath the waves, home to ancient jinn. They believe that when the sea is too quiet, it means the jinn are watching, waiting to lure sailors into the depths. Some who have sailed too far claim to have seen ghostly lights rising from the water, heard soft whispers in an unknown language. The legend warns that if you ever hear the jinn calling your name, you must never answer, or you will never return to the shore. Laos, the Phaya Naga, the river serpent of the Mekong. The Phaya Naga is a giant snake-like dragon that is said to live in the depths of the Mekong River. According to legend, it protects hidden underwater cities and only reveals itself to the most worthy people. Some fishermen claim to have seen huge shadows moving under the water, while others speak of mysterious glowing orbs rising from the water, believing it to be the breath of the Phaya Naga. Each year, locals celebrate the Naga fireballs, a strange natural phenomenon where glowing lights emerge from the river, proof they believe that the great serpent still lives below. Malta, the Kabari, the wind guardian of the catacombs. In ancient catacombs beneath Malta, an eerie legend tells of the Kabari, a terrifying winged beast with glowing eyes that guards the tomb of the dead. According to stories, the Kabari is neither living nor dead, a creature cursed to watch over the underground world forever. Those who venture too deep into the tunnels without permission risk awakening it. Some say they have heard low growls and footsteps in the dark, even when no one else is around. Others claim to have seen a pair of fiery eyes staring at them before vanishing into the shadows. Armenia, the Dev, the fire-eyed giant. In Armenian mythology, the Dev is a massive, horned, giant with fiery eyes that lives in the mountains and deserts. According to legend, the devs once ruled over humans, forcing them to work as slaves, but when a hero defeated their king, most of them were wiped out. However, some devs escaped into the wilderness, where they still roam, searching for revenge. Shepherds in remote areas claim to have seen massive footprints in the dirt, while others report hearing deep, rumbling laughter in the distance, as if something enormous is still waiting. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you guys for your support on basically all the videos. So thank you so much. Part 3 maybe tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me today, whatever time you're watching this. Thank you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.